Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Monday edition of the AJT Morning Show. Ready to get this week kicked off on the right foot. Even though we are starting out with some challenges. Looks like DOS did tried to do another upgrade over the weekend and got themselves in another jam. So they're going to have to work themselves out of it before the open. Yeah, we had some pretty bad storms come through last night. So hopefully we'll see. Hopefully we won't have any residual effects from the storm. We had a lot of water come down. So we'll see moving forward here. So I tweeted this out. It was either Friday or Saturday that I tweeted this out. It says, it's not given to us how many steps will be necessary to reach our goals. We may still encounter failure at the 1,000th step, yet success hides behind the next bend in the road. You'll never know how close it is until you turn the corner. And it couldn't be more true, when it comes to day trading. Yeah, because a lot of what we go through, it takes a lot out of us. We go through, especially days like today when we're first starting out and we're just starting trading, and we have issues with a platform, or we have a storm come through, and there's a chance that we may get taken offline. All of these things, they bother us. They're more pronounced when we begin, but we're still going to encounter them along the way. You never know. Around that corner could be your breakout trade. But if you quit and you give up and you say, this just isn't going to happen for me, then you'll never reach that success. So I got the question this weekend. Somebody asked me, through all of these problems, through all of these failures, how do you sustain your success? How do you keep going? And when you fall down and you get back up, or you get knocked down and you get back up, how do you keep that motivation up? How do you keep giving 100+%, through all of this? But you got to look at the core. Mankind's motivation is to always do better, always seek to be better. But most of all, it's to seek and experience personal freedom. We desire personal freedom, social freedom, emotional freedom, creative freedom, and what we're really looking for here, financial freedom. Freedom to do whatever we want to do with our time, spiritual freedom. All of these freedoms is what's really the driving force behind our motivation to do the things that we do and to keep us driving. Our family is, a big part of that, because we want the freedom We want the financial freedom to be able to give our family what we desire them to have. We want the freedom of time to be able to spend with them. You know, every job I've had up to this point, you know, even the last job I had, everybody knew that when it came to me supporting my children, if my daughter was getting an award at school or my son was getting an award at school, or if we had an activity after school and my son had a baseball game or my daughter had a softball game or there was a basketball game, they came first. No job ever came before my kids. And if I, you know, I went through the proper channels at first. You know, I asked, can I have the time off? They say no. The heck with them, I'm gone anyway. You know, my number one priority, what drove me was my family. What drove me to work and to try to do the best that I can was my family. So I was going to support them. I needed that freedom, and I strived to get that freedom so that I could be there for them. And I'll never forget the first year I taught. My sister was graduating from high school, and at the end of the year, there was really no students coming. This was graduation day. And she graduated from one of the schools in my school district, which, you know, sent us students as well to our career center. And I took off. You know, I requested to get off to go to the graduation and spend time with her that day. Well, you know, they docked me, and that let me know right then that I needed to deal with them on a different level. And that the motivation that I had to kind of work myself out of that, it's like I don't want to have to deal with the, I don't know if you call it emotional freedom or the social freedom or whatever it was. I didn't want to feel it anymore. And so all of these things is what keeps us driving. But the main thing is, you know, our desire to seek and experience that personal freedom and the financial and creative and the time freedom, all of that stuff that comes with it. You know, this is what's going to keep us driving on. And that's what keeps me going every day. You know I'm not going backwards. I'm not going back to a 9 to 5. It's not going to happen for me anymore. I've come too far. I've worked too hard. I've gone too long. I'm not going to do it anymore. And, you know, once you get going on this, you know, you're going to feel it. And that's what you're going to have to tap into, you know, as you continue to move forward. All right, so let's see what the stock market has for us today. A good earnings week on tap. I'm pretty excited about that. Let's see. We'll come back to the higher priced amount stocks. Man, Tesla gapped up. Good thing I didn't hold that stuff short. Well, it looks like everything's higher priced up here. You know, let's look at GLPG. See, we're in a downward trend. We bounced here. Closing the public offering. Oh, okay. So this is, the public offering is completed. So not sure what's going on with this today. I don't know why it gapped up. Mm, 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 mm. Not gonna look at that. For right now, that's not gonna be on the watch list. I'm gonna need to figure out what's going on with it. I mean, it's made a nice move, and the chart looks good. I mean, it's setting up for a continuation back down to where it gapped up from. But I don't know why it gapped up to start with. Let's see, BIDX or BDX. Where did I get I from? So it's about okay, they bought out somebody. So they're not being bought out. But it still seems to be a nice range and it's trading. I don't know if it's going to flatline now or what. But we'll have to take a look at that. Okay, ISLE. Let's see, Ala Capri Casinos. Nope. Don't see anything on it. AKTX. Now this has made some monster moves the last couple days. Yeah, you can see we traded twice this average daily volume on Friday. They announced positive mid-stage trial results. And that's the kind of catalyst that I like. So we'll be putting that one on our watch list. We'll keep that on our watch list here. Well, I don't know. I can't tell. I mean, really, I'm handicapped because I don't know what stocks are shortable, what stocks aren't. I have no idea at this point. So I have to determine all of that once I get to that point. Let's see, Tesla, GS, BCR, all are pretty high price stocks. So I won't look at them as for opening range, but later on in the day, if these set up, you know, you saw last week with Tesla, 50 shares, you know, we made $400 on it with just trading 50 shares. So, I mean, even just because it's a higher dollar stock, they do have the potential to move. See, Tesla has a $9.20 average true range, so it moves pretty good. So 50 shares on Tesla. I mean, that could be a monster trade there. Yeah, I see that, but SureTrader, the platform doesn't really give us any. It's not really giving me any data, any updated market data. So I'm not sure. Well, I hadn't logged into Speed Trader yet to see if it's a DOS problem or if it's just a SureTrader problem through DOS. I have to look in and see what's going on with that. So let's look on this left side here and see if we have any better. I don't like trading bank stocks. We got a lot of activity here. All right, HAS. No, that's going to make the watch. That's on earnings. And it finally got enough volume to hit the scan. BCS, doubt if it will even move today. PHG, we'll take a look at it. It's got a pretty high float, but we'll take a look and see if it's got any potential there. SNY. I keep saying I'm gonna raise the float level on this scan here, but I haven't done it. Let's see, TOT. And we got a pretty active day going here. Yeah, so HAS was on my earnings watch I posted last night. HAS, HAL were two that I had my eyes on this morning that will probably be on the gapper scan. HAS made it, but HAL hasn't made much noise. It is moving, but it hasn't really gotten any volume or anything like that to really put it in play. Whereas Hasbro is, they're on a conference call right now. But it's got the volume. So like I said, we'll definitely have Hasbro on watch. On the rest of these, we'll take a look at here. Like LLI was another one that I was gonna watch today, but it hasn't really reported anything, so leaving it alone. Okay, 101.08 is the high. Is 52-week high. And we've gapped over that. So, which means I don't have any price action going back to 2007. I don't have any price action above this level. So these are the levels I'll be playing off of. I'll be trading off of, and right now it's up. So I would like to see a pullback closer to open, so I could get a good entry, good risk reward off of some level of support, and I will look to take this long. This has home run potential, if it gets the volume and it gets the and the motivation of the momentum. I think this will push up, but we'll have to wait and see at open. Let me see, what was the news on PHG? This is an ugly chart here. That's what I consider an ugly daily chart. Nothing there. It's up on earnings, but no ATR. This is a pretty ugly chart. It's not something that I would look at trading at this point. See SNY. Oh, another ugly chart. So it receives the FDA approval. It's a good catalyst, but that's a pretty ugly chart. And TOT. And this one kind of smoothed out lately, but it's got a pretty big float. But no news can I find on it right now. So I don't see anything on it. So it looks like my main focus at this point is going to be on HAS. Like I said, these higher dollar stocks will be good for possibly a secondary move. I may throw Tesla on there, but it will have to be making a very strong move. I'm not going to trade it, in a range. It's going to have some momentum behind it. Because this thing moves, the average range per candle, could get over $3 at times. So I wouldn't want to just get chopped out of it. So it looks like HAS is probably going to be my primary focus here. I don't really see anything else I like. Let me buzz back through this and see. I didn't come into this morning with high expectations, so alright. Here's a message that's just popped up. We're currently aware that some of you are experiencing platform issues. We've contacted DOS and they're looking into the matter. So that's that. So maybe dead in the water before we even get started. So guys, with all this activity, right now, pre-market, I only found one that I'm really interested in, and that's HAS. Nothing else. Nothing else I'm really interested in. So we'll put our focus on it, and if DOS gets the platform up and running, then we'll be able to trade today. If not, today will be a non-event. But it's just like it's just like any other. When Thinkorswim updates over the weekend, a lot of times Monday morning they have a bunch of issues when everybody's logging in. And it happens to pretty much any broker that has their own dedicated platform. And even if it's a third party that provides it, whenever you run updates, you run into issues. Just like when Windows did an update a week or so ago, it messed up the drivers for my screens. So I fought with that thing. Thankfully, I had enough sense to try it out before the morning came. So I was able to work through it that night and figured out I had to reinstall the driver. And once I did that, everything worked out fine. But I'm sure the same thing happens with these servers. That when they run updates, sometimes it doesn't take well. And there are problems that come about that they won't know until people start logging in and trying to use it. So this is just part of the deal. My new float requirement, I'll probably go up to right at 1 billion, just to see, because there are some larger float stocks that have put in some good moves. But it's just a matter of looking at the price action and seeing how it's trading. Then you'll be able to tell. No, Selena, it's pretty much the same. The only thing I changed with my strategy is if it's a higher price stock that has these larger swings, then I have to trade smaller size. Because I could go in with these stocks that can move $4, and I go in with 500 shares, I can easily be down $2,000. and that's just not something I can stand right now. I mean, I can deal with. I got up to the point where I could deal with being down $500. Looking to make 1,000. I was very comfortable with that. But that's as far as I got. And I gradually increased it and built up my resistance to it, or my tolerance of it. But that's as far as I got. Before I brought myself back down to earth. But it's all about, it's all about sticking to, your rules and your risk tolerance. Awesome, awesome, Selena. And that's what we focus on. And everybody that's been here in chat with me since the beginning, they've seen it unfold right in front of their eyes. How trading smaller size, is profitable. From starting at $1,500 in January, we'll break. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't break 10 grand a day, in earnings. And that's starting with $1,500 in January. Trading smaller size. Yeah, a lot of people say it's not possible. It's crap. You can't trade that way, but you got to learn that skill. You develop skill by trading small. You're able to develop your risk tolerance and grow it by trading small. That's how I was able to bring my risk tolerance up to where the level to where it was, because I did it slowly. And that's what it's all about. All right, guys. So not really watching much out of the gates. Gonna be reactionary. Just see if any trend continuation trades set up. Any VWAP trades that may set up. We just kind of have to wait and see where we're going with that. All right, so we're gonna sign off here. See how this day goes. A lot of times a day that starts off real slow ends up, turning out to be very big. So, we'll see. But thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll be right back at this thing tomorrow morning, ready to tackle another day. So you guys stay green. And remember, trade for skill, not for money.